actually down in Spanish Springs where I usually take them for a walk. I'm just trying to get everybody. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I got the two girls with me. So let me turn this around. Way to go, Bella. And you can see you got a beautiful lake, and I'm gonna take you guys for a walk around here. But I wanted to clear some things up because it was a funny thing that I was trying. Gab, why can't you just get in the front and not tie everything up? Hold on. What the hell are they doing here? Hold on. Sorry about that. All right, come on, girls. I don't know what it is with you two today that you guys can't get anything. There we go. Just trying to get them moving properly. So the other day I taped and kind of explained what I wanted to do, but for some reason it didn't tape, and I kind of figured out why. Because Bella is being a pain in the neck today. Gabby, wait. Huh. They are just being tough today. Hold on. Come on. All we're trying to do is get you guys some exercise, and we have to make this tough. All right, so if I do that, there we go. So what happened was, when I was close to the house, I was using the internet from the house. And then when I started walking down the half-mile driveway, it switched over to the phone. And it knocked the thing out. So the thing was only a minute long. So that's why I think it was Wednesday. Wednesday's morning walk didn't go very well. But I explained a lot of things, which was kind of important. Number one, the poll that you see up, and some of the videos that you've seen this week about video games and some other things, you know, my VR thing, the pinball, the joystick, and all that stuff. These are things I really enjoy. But at no time is it going to replace the board game stuff. So when I put that poll up, I wanted to see if people would actually watch what I'm doing, because I was going to do it no matter what. But I wanted to see what the temperature was, and so I wouldn't be caught by surprise. You know, of course, some people, oh, I'm going to leave. Okay, well then leave. I really don't give two shits. But for the most part, you know, it was kind of like, you know, we'll check out and see what's going on, even though it may not be something that interests us. It is not going to take over the channel. It is going to be added. So instead of doing just 3 videos a week, like I was trying to do, we are actually going to pick it up a bit and produce more videos. So I've got a lot of board game stuff to cover. It's getting to the season where all the new stuff is coming out and everything, and I'm getting a bunch of stuff in. I got some really exciting stuff coming, particularly, come on girls, they don't like the outside spinning. There's a gym over here, and you got to remember, I live in the elderly capital of the world. Okay, what are we doing here? What in God's name are you doing? Okay, hold on. Let me get this. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So there's this gym, and it's really expensive. I think it's like $300 a month, which is just absolutely insane to go outside and spin like a bunch of idiots. Yeah, exciting. I go to a gym where you just lift weights and that's it. But it's nice for you know, people that are even older than I am, and I'm old. And I hope I don't get a copyright thing for this. Come on, girls. Come on. Let's just keep going. But getting back to things, I mean, I have so much great stuff to check out. We're going to be taking a look at Elden Ring. We're going to be taking a look at, today you're going to see some Battletech stuff. I'm going to be doing more of that. We're going to be talking about a lot about what I decided to keep, because we got another big auction, and I'm really trimming stuff down, and I'm kind of shocked at the stuff that I really want to keep and the stuff that I don't want to keep. Spanish Springs, by the way, I just want to interrupt for a second. As you can see, is a very beautiful area. There's all kinds of little shops and golf carts and restaurants and stuff like that. And the girls like to go for a walk. Usually these fountains are going, so they're all interested. But I try to get them exercise, especially since they're getting older and stuff. But that's not going to, it's not going to take away from the board gaming stuff. It's going to enhance the board game stuff that I want to do. And I think breathe a little bit more life into, I was getting kind of stagnant in a way. And by doing some of this stuff and venturing into things like that pinball thing that I showed you yesterday, that was a lot of fun. I'm having a great time, and some people that I really respect are going out and getting these things, you know, and we're all getting together and having a good time. And I want to share that. I want to share my love of some of the older stuff, which I have planned, and show you off some of the devices and things that people are starting to notice my videos and send stuff. But at no time is this going to go or hamper what is a board gaming channel. I think it's going to be a good mix of everything. And you know, like the comic books, I want to talk about Atomic Empire and talk about the books I'm reading, okay? Things that fascinating me or things that move me. And I like talking about that stuff. Now, is the board game stuff, I mean, are we going to be doing comic videos all the time? No, because I've seen some of these comic channels. There's a comic channel in this state, and wow, what a bunch of, what an infomercial that is. Okay, but I do want, you know, when I get my comic books, and I get them later than everybody else, so I'm not going to be getting them, you know, that same week and talking about all this stuff, but I want to talk about what I'm reading, what I find interesting, what I don't find interesting, and some of the older stuff that I find interesting that you might read and you know, think about certain things and stuff like that. And I always think that's I think that's, to some people, that might be interesting. Not everybody. Same thing with the video game stuff. You know, you know, somebody goes, you know, I can't keep up with the new video games. Well, neither can I. I stink. You know, and it becomes frustrating because things move so much faster, and as my skills diminish, there are games that I just absolutely love that are kind of built around my age group in a way, and you can have a lot of fun with. There are board games that are coming out that I'm just absolutely fascinated with. I got a bunch of stuff in. Like I said, I can't wait to get my hand on the latest version of Drifter, which is a fantasy base part of it. And you know, it looks absolutely phenomenal. Girls, let's go. All right, let's go down this way. Come on. Come on. Atta girl. They're doing good today. And, you know, these things to me are very, very, you know, interesting in a lot of ways. And it breathes life into a channel that I kind of thought I was at the end of the rope with, that I couldn't take any farther. But by adding just little things, I think it breathes a lot of life into it and kind of shows you more of what I am and who I am. Oop. We have an ice cream place here, and there's a little tunnel that we go through that the girls enjoy. So bear with me for a second. This is where our newspaper is. It's a very nice area here. And the girls really enjoy coming through here and whatnot. But at no time am I going, I don't want to do board games no more. So it's just going to be a video game and this, that, and the other. Now, this week, there were a lot of videos. There was 2 on this joystick thing that I went out and bought, because I try to inform people, the truth. There's this guy that made this thing look so good with this particular piece of software. And, he's got about 2,000 guys, and he's an idiot. He's a cookie cutter fool. And I decided to call it out and tell people the truth. Well, I was wrong about a couple of things, because the company got a hold of me and corrected things. So what do? I do the right thing. I don't try to bury it and this, that, and the other. I'm going to say, hey, shit, I'm dumb as a rock. I'm wrong. But my point was, and even though I made the correction, is you take a novice, because I'm no expert at anything. You take a novice, an everyday guy, and you put him in a position where he doesn't understand something and gets frustrated. Well, that's what that video showed, was the frustration of things not being really clear, or me not finding something that I needed. And once everything was cleared and I got things working and stuff like that, all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, this thing really is pretty cool. And it's that kind of progression that I always try to show on this channel. I think it's always important, to show my faults, my strengths, but progression. I get something, maybe I get a game and I'm singing the praises of it, because I played it a few times. But then as I play it more, I go, oh boy, I really kind of see things that aren't that great on it. Hold on, girls. Holy cow. Today, Bella is just being a pain in the ass. Come on, girl, let's just go over here. Let's go over to the waterfall. Come on. Come on. You're not getting off that easy. There's a lot of sports I do, but I don't film that, pickleball, there's pickleball courts over here. Come on, girls, come on. And things like that. And come on, we're just going to go sit down on this bench for a second. I'm going to, racquetball and stuff like that. I really like doing a lot of different things. I think some of you also like doing a lot of different things. And I kind of want to show that, and I'm not worried about taking the hit. Yeah, Bella, jeez. Come on, girl. Holy cow today. Of course, normally, there we go. I'm going to sit here for a minute. Oh, okay, good girls. Here, I'm going to let you guys roam around a little bit. No, I'm not going to let them go. I'm just going to loosen the leash on them a little bit. This is really nice here. When you just get to sit here a little bit, listen to the police sirens. But this is a beautiful, beautiful area. I got to bring you guys down here next week and do another one of these when there's a group of guys that do boat racing. It's the radio controlled, and it's like the coolest things, because some of the boats are just really, really cool to see. I think you'll really, really like that. So we'll add that to our thing. And I used to love doing a lot of radio controlled stuff when I was a kid. Things were just different. And you just didn't have just one hobby. You had tons of hobbies, and I guess that's the difference being an older guy, you just didn't, coming from a place that was 4 different seasons, you did different things in different seasons. All winter we were playing board games. We were, I was in the early video game era. We were playing video games. We were going to arcades and stuff like that. In the spring, we were playing sports. In the summer, we were going to the beaches. In the fall, we were doing radio control and modeling and all these other different things. We weren't just stuck to one thing. In the summers, under the tree, reading comic books. That's who I am, and that's kind of what I want the channel to be. After 10 years of really grinding, now I'm grinding still, but I think now it's more about Bella being good. It's more about how I want to go out, you know? I don't know when it'll end. I don't know if I'll get sick again and not be able to do stuff, but I really want to do things that are fun. I like doing the VR videos. I'm Wait till you see some of the videos that I am doing. You know, with nowadays where, you don't get to go to arcades and stuff like that, but you have the ability to bring in one of these Raspberry Pi things and play 100,000 games on one device. Well, you're not going to play all 100,000 games, okay? What you are going to do is, you're going to play your favorites. Maybe there's 10, 20. Well, what if I could show you a couple that you would really like that are kind of fun? And I think that would help people, and give them a different perspective on different weird oddball things that I really like. You may not like it, okay, but at least I showed it to you. The same thing with everything I do, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that Rob's Tabletop World will be a board gaming channel first and foremost, and all this other stuff that is being interjected into it is just additional stuff, okay? More variants. Like I said, if you don't like what I'm doing, hey, the door swings both ways. And, I'll understand perfectly, okay? Nothing stays the same. You have to change things up. And in order to take the second part of this, oh, excuse me, I got something in my eye, to another level, like these morning walks that I want to do, a couple times a week, along with what I do. Bella, you need to slow down, girl. These morning walks I do, I want to do these, and just talk about all kinds of different things. Not just keep it to once a week. I think this is kind of a fun thing to do, and I'm enjoying it. If I'm not screwing it up by trying to grab two different internets. Come on, girl. Bella, I don't know what's with you today. Bella's being a pain in the arse. All right, so we're gonna get her in the car. We're gonna get them both in the car. And then but I just wanted to clear that up. This auction is going to be real interesting, and we're going to be getting it ready this weekend. My wife's going to help me. We're going to have a whole dungeon, 6-foot dungeon that you're going to be able to get. I think you're really going to like seeing that. I'm going to scale down my painting stuff. So I'm getting rid of my couple of airbrushes. Go ahead, girl. Atta girl, Gab. Come on, girl. Come on. Trying to get him in the car. Air compressor, a whole set of Vallejo airbrush paints, which was normally $400. Really top-end compressor and 3 airbrushes. That is going to be one lot. Just to give you an idea of some of the stuff. Metal Gear Solid is a game that we were very lucky to get a couple copies of. So we're going to add that into one of our lots somewhere. So a lot of really great stuff. And once this auction's done, there's going to be another video. Excuse me for starting the car. But there's going to be another video kind of talking about what's left and where I feel good about the stuff that's in-house. Now, that means that we're also going to attack that storage unit. I've got to take care of that at some point, and I'm starting to look at that, but that's later on in the year. But I'm getting the collection down to where I want to start showcasing some older stuff. Of course, there's going to be newer stuff coming in all the time. We'll showcase that. So there's plenty of board game content, okay? And then getting it down to where I finally feel comfortable that when we head into the fall and there's nothing new to cover, that I can start putting up the playthroughs and things like that, and other things, and just really be very well-rounded. And if I decide that next March that was it, come March 30th, because I said, let's give it a year, and then maybe just call it quits at the end. But if that's it, then I'm going out with my boots on. No fanfare, no big thing, no nothing. Just one day, I'm gone. Because you can't do this forever. But if I keep doing things that I'm enjoying, like I'm really enthused lately. I've made videos all the way through April already, okay? And I'm starting to work on stuff for May. And I'm filling in stuff more for April, because normally I have a certain amount of videos for each week. Well, guess what? That's also kind of changed a bit, okay? Because now I'm looking to make this where I'm filling in certain pieces, more videos, more content. It may go up to 5 days a week. I've got videos out, plus live stuff. So, really, if I feel rejuvenated and reborn by doing some of this other stuff and adding it in with some of the stuff I'm really enjoying doing now, and getting things where everything's under control and stuff like that, I think that's a great thing. I really do. And for those of you that are part of the channel, I really hope that you support that, and give us a thumbs up and a like and all that other happy horseshit, and a subscription. And if you don't, well, that's okay too, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to be me, and that's all I can do. And not everybody's going to love you, and that's just the way life is. So there you go. It's time to get back and get the things done that I need to get done. I need to get to work. And the girls had you guys had a good walk? Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. So there we go. We got everything the way we want it and done, and everybody's happy. And until when's the next time I'm going to see you guys? Sunday morning, where we'll be talking even more about this and some of the things that are going on, because by then I think we'll have a good idea where we're going to be at with what's left in the collection, and we'll be talking about that. So I'm excited about that. Love you all. Have a great day. We'll be talking about cows and everything else that we do as we normally do. And we'll see you soon, everybody. Take it easy.